Let's see. I'll wait for John here. He's struggling to get in.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Cool. I was gonna say, so are you working with Tom Reynolds?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Because I would say I looked at your Instagram earlier, and I think you put a link to the museum, and I was like, wait, I could have swore there was something different on your account last time.
He's the Greeley native.
Right. Okay.
We grew up. We're from the same town, and then TJ is his son, who's Baseball Central in LA.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna bring it up there.
So TJ's TR's son, and he's a local hero, Mr. Tom Reynolds. So.
Are we live? There we go. Okay. Well, it looks like we're live.
We are live.
John,
Hello.
you all set?
I'm all set. Let me quickly share that out. And then we'll get started. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, John. Nice to meet you.
How are you? It's pleasure to meet you digitally. Okay, so your channel. Quickly share that out. And then we'll get started.
Yeah, we'll have to see how you are with the Scottish accent. You're gonna be okay, Jeff.
Okay, we'll fight through it. If he can understand my American accent.
He's fine. So yeah, he doesn't have too much of a strong accent there. There's times you go out to Glasgow and you go, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. I missed all of that. You're gonna have to try again. Are we good, John? Are you gonna do it in the background as we go live?
That is us good to go.
All right. Here we go. Welcome. This is the second interview tonight. We are Ball Caps and Bagpipes. Normally, we are a Scottish baseball podcast. Tonight, we are interviewing Jeff Stone for the Negro League Baseball Museum art project. So, Jeff, please welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So we're looking into your bio. We have you down as an illustrator, designer, artist, and we were talking beforehand. You're an educator and a baseball coach.
That's right. We kind of got many hats that I wear throughout the day and the year. So
what's your subject then?
I teach art and design at the high school. It's called Valley High School. It's in Gilchrist, Colorado, and I've been there 9 years. This is my 9th year teaching there, and so 9 years of baseball at Valley High School, and then I've actually coached for 18 years. I was at another high school prior to this, just coaching. I didn't teach there, but kind of just teaching and coaching and all things.
So baseball's in the blood then.
Baseball and art is mixed in my life often.
So yeah, so we asked the same thing of Robbie. How did you get started? Did you play Little League, high school ball?
So yeah, my story is I grew up playing the Elks League here in Colorado in Greeley, and we got to all make buddies and friends, and we'd all play in this league called the Elks League, and it was the Elks Lodge, and they had this complex before complexes were kind of a thing, and everybody knew that if the ball got to the outfield, it would be full of stickers, and you'd be pulling stickers out of the baseballs as you were throwing it in. So you always had to be careful, but kept going along, made my way up into high school. We had a really successful high school team. We were state champs my junior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were, my coach was very fortunate to have a really good coach and a really good program to get involved with. at my high school. And in the 90s, I graduated in 93. So we won state in 92. In the 90s here around Greeley area was really big. Like it's a small town, but the community is just incredible for baseball. And especially in the 90s, I think, oh man, let's see. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was about 10 guys in the 90s that get drafted from Greeley area.
Really?
And it's a really small town. I mean, there was the guy named Brad Schmay, Scott Johnson, Dallas Mahan, TJ Reynolds, Tim Fortner, Tyler Bain, and then Sean Chacon. He's a big name for Greeley. He played for the Yankees, for the Rockies, the Pirates. So he was a major league pitcher for quite a while. He's pretty well known outside of Greeley as well. But Sean Chacon we claim him from Greeley.
So was he on your team, or was he on the opposing
Sean
team?
was a little bit a little bit younger than me. I
Right.
graduated in 93. I think Sean graduated 97-ish, something
Right.
like that. So, but just a really great community, and baseball was big time there for a while. We had kids playing high level of baseball around this area, so it was really good.
And right at the same time, the Rockies were introduced as an expansion team.
That's right. Yep. So we were really excited to have a team come in, and I was all excited to wear a ball cap from my hometown or home state, I guess. But growing up, and then they ended up having purple, and I was like, oh, purple. I can't have a purple hat. So I like the Rockies, but they're not my team. So
Who's your team then?
who's my team? It's the Orioles. So
Oh wow, okay.
it's not very much better, but at least we battle with the Orioles a little bit.
So is that more of a Cal Ripken kind of thing? Yeah, you kind of like.
It turned into Cal Ripken for sure. Growing up, me and my cousin was a huge baseball card collector, and
Right.
I was just getting into it. And so I wanted to get the oldest baseball card I could get. And so I was like, I got $20. I need the oldest. I didn't care who it was. I just wanted the oldest card I could get for $20. And so he's all, I got this 1960s Brooks Robinson card. I'll sell it to you for $20. Not a clue who Brooks Robinson was, but it was the 1960s. Holy cow, this is the oldest card I've ever seen, right? And so I buy it. And so then you got to go do the research. And then you read up on this guy and you're like, oh my goodness, this is like one of the greatest guys ever. Yeah, like, I'm about fielding. I was a great fielder, or thought I was a great fielder. That's where I put my money at second base. But
Right.
just a fantastic story about this guy that I never knew. And then you fall in love, and then you realize that you're going to be an Orioles fan.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like, so I grew up in Seattle. I'm a Mariners fan, but I'm also a Padres fan. And the reason why is because my grandparents retired to Yuma, Arizona, and that was where the Padres used to have spring training. And you know, they would bring me stuff back when the 81 and 82, and I'd have all this Padre gear.
Right.
So it was like when they made the World Series in 85, I'm like, yeah, great, this is my team. And the Mariners were terrible till for a long time. So at least I had someone to go, all right, I got someone to root for.
That's okay. Yeah.
And John's got a similar story of how he became a Yankee fan,
Yeah, I watched a Yankees Mets game on Channel 5 over here in the UK. Sort of accidentally found baseball by hiring All-Star Baseball 2002, the video game on PS2 back in the day, from a video store near me called Global Video. Video stores, remember those? Christ, we're old. And I thought like baseball was really confusing, but also like a fun game to play, and thought I'm going to watch it because I was vaguely aware that it was on. Now, obviously, it starts at like 1 a.m. here. So I watched this Yankees Mets game one Sunday. It was the Sunday before the 2001 All-Star game. Your guy Cal Ripken Jr.'s final All-Star game, where he hit a home run on the first pitch you saw. And it was Yankees Mets, and I just decided, whoever wins this is going to be my team. And I was lucky enough that the Yankees won it.
Yeah.
Pitching matchup was a crazy one. It was Glendon Rush versus Randy Kiesler. I don't know if you remember either of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about a connection somewhere, somehow. It's very rarely, you hear stories about, well, that's who I listened to on the radio, or I got to know somebody else a little personally, or something like that. So mine was an old baseball card, and now I got to find out who this guy is.
So the question is, I just got all my old baseball cards shipped over here now. So do you still have your cards?
I never ended up being a big card collector.
Right.
So I have a shoebox full, and that's about it. Just of the main guys that I would really like. I got
Right.
Pete Roses, I got some odds and ends of things like that, but nothing. It's only sentimental.
So you didn't get caught up in the baseball card craze in the 80s and 90s like everyone else. And my 89 King Griffey Jr. upper deck cards to make me retire.
Yeah. Spent a lot of times looking at them in card shops and things like that. But
yeah, I do miss card shops. That's the one thing I kind of every time I got home, I kind of see if I can pop into a card shop just to see what's there and that. And we've got nothing out this way, so like I'm quite jealous when people go, I just went to the card shop, picked up a couple boxes of cards and like that, and it's like, I miss those days. Right, so let's get into your art. So did you go to college, go into art design, and where did we get into where we are now?
Yep, so same thing. So I ventured out to try to play baseball in college, went to a small school in Idaho, made the team, and decided that I was deathly homesick. And so I decided I needed to come home. And so my college baseball career was over, and came back and started working at a local sporting goods store. And so I would work there, and eventually in about a year and a half, I moved into the screen shop. And so I got to start working with the artwork and things like that, because I would be doodling at the shop when it was slow or when we weren't selling shoes, and basically got offered the job to work in the screen shop, and did that for 20 years. I worked in the screen shop in it's just a locally owned little sporting goods store called Gojo Sports, and I did that for about 20 years and just started loving design. Didn't go to school for design, graphic design really wasn't even a major.
Right.
Like when I went to college at 94. I mean, it just kind of was getting in there with computers and things like that. Commercial art was always around and things like that, but I never thought I'd do anything as a career with art.
Right.
And then, like I said, I had done some coaching. I coached at the high school that I was an alumni of, and coached there for about 8 years. And then it was just kind of getting too hard to coach and leave work and do those types of things. And so I was like, well, I really enjoy coaching, and I'm kind of tapped out on my salary from the screen shop. So luckily enough, I went back to school and got my teaching certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm starting my 9th year of teaching, and still get to do coaching. And so I still do a lot of freelance work with graphic design and things like that. But as an artist, I've been able to start to sell a little bit more of the actual artwork now, instead of just logo and branding designs. I still get friends and commissions to do business logos and branding type things like that. But I was lucky enough last year, there is a friend of ours from Greeley, and he owns Baseball Central, and I think they're being involved in this aspect too. They're kind of a training facility in LA, and they were hosting an art show. And
right.
So there's about 6 of us. We had Jumbotron Art was involved in the art show last year. Collage Baseball was involved with it. Baseball Card Vandals, Modern Art Baseball, and Hide. He had a solo show the first year, and then we jumped on his shoulders and he let us join in an art show last year with him in LA. And so we kind of started doing this baseball art show around October about this time. And so this year we weren't able to go do that art show. And so this event came about, and it's just kind of a nice place to show some artwork. And I'm not a business. I'm not anything like that. I basically teach students how to make art, and that allows me to make some things in my spare time. And if I can sell them, then that's kind of bonus for me.
You know, I do think I remember seeing that event being around. I remember, I think I've been following collage baseball for a good year and a half, 2 years now. And I know he's involved with that. And
Yeah,
Peter
it was a
with Jumbotron, I've been following him for a while. I'm trying to think, what I think, Jimmy Parker of Beauty of the Game.
What's that?
Have you heard of Jimmy Parker of Beauty of the Game?
Just because of this, I
Right.
started to do it. Yep.
So we had the same thing. So he turned me on his baseball cards as art, because he did a show, I think in 2017, where he had a friend of mine displayed there, and a couple of the artists I know that are with us on the program here. And he kind of did the same thing out in Durham, I think maybe it was out in North Carolina, out the same idea. So when I saw you guys doing your stuff in LA, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like it's beginning to expand, as you know, baseball is art, and you know, doing things with baseball cards on that there. So I'm finding everyone's artwork is absolutely fascinating to follow on Instagram and see what people come up. So that must have been quite a fun time to chat with other artists, because I think no one's doing this full time. Everyone's doing it as their side gig.
Right. Yeah. Peter, he's Jumbotron Art. We were next to each other, and we just didn't know each other prior. But it's, again, baseball has a way of, you already have that connection. You can talk about anything, and baseball is going to find its way into there. But it's that starting point of baseball that really connects us. And we're just really similar paths, similar stories, similar ideas. And it was really great talking with Peter and really getting to know him and Hide. And yeah, it was just a great experience overall. Yep.
So you're going to bring the next one to Colorado, make everyone come to you, right?
That's right. That's right. Actually, I'll keep it in LA. It's a good trip. I like going and getting a little vacation into it as well. So.
Fair enough.
Make it more pleasure than business.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, you know, at least you're in LA. You've got like 3 stadiums within an hour and a half to go see some games. That's probably not a bad place to go.
Yeah, it was really good. And the owner of Baseball Central, TJ, was a great host. So he took care of us really good.
So he was a former teammate, correct?
Well, not a teammate, but just from the town. He was a little bit younger.
Right.
I never got to play with him, but he played at a different high school. There was about 4 high schools at the time around the little area, and he was at a different.
That doesn't sound like a small town. If you got 4 high schools, that sounds like a fairly big place.
I guess we consider Greeley pretty small. I guess I don't.
Right.
Surrounding areas, we lump it all in Greeley.
Right. So when you started your first drawing there, was this just fun? You said you started doodling and just kind of went from there, and then to see how you explore things?
I was always, I guess the plan when I was in elementary school was to be Calvin and Hobbes and to have a comic strip. I mean, that the newspaper lingo is gone. Nobody does a newspaper anymore, right? But that was the goal, I think, is to create a character and have a comic strip. But being from Greeley, it was like, how do you become a cartoon? Like, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm going to go to college and have speech and communications. I'm going to be a youth pastor. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, it's not art. I know that. And so I always could draw. I liked drawing cartoons. Thought about making characters at the mall, and you come down and I'll draw your face and making a big old nose on you or whatever. But it just kind of led into logos are just, I'd sit around too, me and my brother on Saturday mornings, and we would draw football helmets, create new teams, come up with cool names. The logo side of sports is huge for me. Sometimes I don't care about a team. Funny story, I was just kind of moving around watching some Instagram stories, and there's a Netherlands new baseball feed. They were scrolling through and had a Neptunes team. And I
Yep,
was like,
I know the team you're talking about. Yeah.
I got to get one of those hats. That's the coolest hat. That's a sweet hat. Don't care about the team at all, but I'm going to get something with that hat because it's a cool logo. And so logos drive me a lot of what I think's cool and what's not cool too. So
John's trying to show off his hat there.
Yeah. If you want a sweet hat, you should grab one of these bad boys.
That's right.
Last no comments.
No. I got you. Well up, John.
That's not even your team.
I was my original team.
Too many more. You're a cannon.
I don't have my Cannon's hat close by, but I have my Devil's hat close by.
So yeah, I'm very design driven. I love logos, things like that. And so I do a lot of youth and travel team logos. Like they'll need a logo for their travel team and things like that. And so my portfolio is more heavy on baseball than anything, just because of the connection and things like that. So
yeah, fair enough. I know what you mean. I love logos. I'm a big fan of Todd Radom and watching he's come up there. Like Todd Father's awesome. Chris Creamer, he's got all the stuff up that way, and just absolute like the deep dive into going to logos and the evolution of everything is amazing.
Well, and the guest you just had on, Robbie, he's brand new to me. That's what this has done too. This whole movement, this whole campaign. I've gathered about at least 8 new artists that you just go, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. I never saw it before. I never came across it. So, and he's a great designer, and he has some stellar stuff that he's been working on too. So.
Yeah, he was pretty excited. He was telling us about what he's doing. So we'll wait till he launches live on the website on there. You said you were drawing logos. I happened to notice there was a lot of Packers stuff that you had to post on Instagram. The Packers, your team.
Similar story to John here with Packers. We're out to the Broncos I like the Broncos again, but you just kind of fall in love with the team because I'm out at school in Idaho, and the Packers games are local there. I don't know why, but they're local in Idaho, and everybody else, nobody knew the Packers. Then they were sucky. They weren't very good. And there was some guy that was his rookie year was Brett Favre, and they said there was one other guy that was in the lounge area to watch games every Sunday, and he was like, "Hey, there's this guy Brett Favre. I think he's gonna be pretty good. We should watch him. So we're gonna be Packer fans." And I was like, "I'll be a Packer fan with you." So we're the only two that would ever cheer for the Packers, and all of a sudden it snowballs. You go, "Oh, I love Brett Favre. Oh, okay." And you're gonna watch Packers. So not very local in my support. So.
Well, John just became a Seahawks fan because his other friend that likes NFL is a Seahawks fan. So that's how he became a Seahawks.
They're kind of stupid stories, but you just kind of go. I thought I was a Brett Favre fan,
right?
And his whole debacle was as he left, I realized I was a Packer fan. I was like, oh, I don't need any guy going to the Jets and the Viking. Oh, come on.
I might sign with the Vikings for a year.
I don't know. It's gonna happen again. I see it's deja vu. It's gonna happen with the Rodgers too. Something's gonna happen. So, but we'll stick with the Packers.
Yeah, it's fine. So I was looking at various. You seem to work with a lot of black and white. Is that by choice? And it's just kind of you're most comfortable with.
That goes back to I think my cartooning days and just kind of that Calvin and Hobbes and just I love illustration. I love seeing the pen. I love seeing black and white lines. I like thick lines. I like small. I like to see that it looks kind of hand drawn. I'm not a photorealistic person, and that's just not what I do for my art. And so I think the black and white lends itself to kind of this interesting thing that I found. I wasn't trying to make player art. And that's the hard thing right now that I'm finding, even out when I went out to that show in LA, our baseball show, everybody's trying to figure out what player this is. And I'm trying to make it not, I'm just picking like a cool pose, right? And everybody knows, if they know the pose, they maybe know who the player is. But I was trying to get away from a little bit of, you can just like this cool pose, and you know it's ball, you know what it feels like, and you know, this, the hands on a bat is just awesome, and feeling a baseball and feeling a ground ball, instead of going, I need Yankee stuff, or I need this player. I was trying to think of more along the lines of the design aspect of, this is baseball. This is just really cool. This is not player specific, not team specific. And so that's kind of where I drive my imagery from, is to get it more of a feeling of not a player or a team, but just the game itself and cool players.
Yeah, there's an almost ghost-like quality to those gentlemen behind you. Is that on purpose?
So this is just kind of standing on a dugout step before you head out into the game and things like that. So I'll keep it kind of black and white, and then I'll maybe throw in like a Andy Warhol it.
I like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Treat it a little bit different, something like that. But yeah, lots of lines, lots of pen, things like that. I mean,
oh wow.
If you know who that is, it's a famous photo, but there's a Hank Aaron pose.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put a big 44 on it, it's great.
You exactly know it is with the number on the back. Yeah.
You cater to Hank Aaron fans, or you can go, I think I've stood like this before, or at least I want to stand like this.
Yeah.
I want to be this guy. So just things like that is kind of where I lean, is a little bit less of the team or a player specific, and try to be a little bit just more baseball.
Because I'm looking at the guy at the right shoulder of the glove, and I'm thinking Will Clark. That just says Will Clark to me. No.
It's actually off of Javi or Mr. Baez. And people go, oh, that's Cal Ripken or whoever, but
all right, yeah, okay.
I don't want it to be a player. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get it a little bit removed from a player, and more of just who doesn't want to field a ground ball like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's all I want. I want to field a ground ball, and I want to throw it across the diamond, and I still want to go do this right now. I want to go take a run.
Yeah, do they let you take some ground balls at practice? You know,
that's why I coach. I coach, so I get to still hit fungos, and hey, I get in the bagging cage a little bit here. Okay, you got to throw me two now. I've thrown BP all day. You guys throw me a few.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Like I said, you're throwing 300, 400 balls. You're like, all right, this, give me 20, maybe 30.
That's right. That's why I coach. That's why we coach. No.
So do you have anything planned for the Negro League Museum? Are you just going to sell your artwork, or are you unsure yet?
I do. I'm going to do one piece. Like I said, I'm not really a business. I don't have a web store. I don't sell things. I don't make prints. I don't do those types of things. I'm just going to make one piece. And I figured also with the 100th anniversary, I'm just going to go, I'm saying 100% donation. I know everybody else gets to do all those other kinds of things, but I'm lucky enough that this isn't my shop. This isn't a thing that I have to survive on. I get to make cool things, or at least I hope they're cool. So I'm going to make a painting of Buck O'Neil.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm going to sell,
Awesome.
I'm going to kind of auction that and see who wants to buy it, hopefully. And then I'm just going to donate the 100% proceeds or whatever we get, 100-year anniversary, 100 proceeds. just donate that in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of small beans, but it'll make me feel good.
Yeah. That's absolutely. I mean, this is the same thing I kind of struggle with because I'm a shop, and I'm kind of like I don't really have a whole lot of stuff. I can donate my sales for the week and tell everyone not to buy anything that week, but more of like, all right, what am I going to do to contribute to this? Because like you say, you're doing this for fun and in the love of the game, and I've got my idea, so we're got to work on it. But that was when Tad approached me. I'm like, I'm a shop. He goes, well, you're my European connection. So okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to use this red panel, and I'm going to do something similar. There's a cool pose of Buck O'Neill, and he's kind of standing on a dugout, and I am going to cater it a little bit more towards Buck, and just kind of, I had mentioned earlier, our town is really supports baseball very well, and they run a baseball breakfast every February.
Okay.
So it's for local baseball, and so it's a fundraiser. They auction off sports memorabilia and things like that, and they donate supplies to the local baseball program. So they'll give every team 24 baseballs, or they'll give everybody. They give kids cleats that can't afford to have cleats for teams and things like that. So it's a really good. It's called Friends of Baseball, and the community just really supports baseball quite well.
Right.
And so at this breakfast, they always have a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's been like huge big name speakers. I mean, Tommy Lasorda, George Brett.
Oh, wow.
Ferguson Jenkins. Who else? Let's see. I wrote some down. Gaylord Perry, Raleigh Fingers, Steve Carlton.
So really, you guys are like Cooperstown. You're just bringing in Hall of Famers like that.
They come and speak at this breakfast. And so this is just, like I said, it's local, and we just come around and eat breakfast and listen to these great stories from these guys. And Goose Gossage, Larry Walker have been there, and things like that. So Buck O'Neill spoke at it twice.
Wow, amazing.
And he spoke in like 2003 and 2005 or something like that. And if on the Instagram, I've added that post on some of my things, and his speech was incredible. Like, you say life-changing, but just totally inspirational. Like, the guy spoke incredibly.
Right.
And there's just some of his speeches on YouTube, and just the way that he talked. People should go check it out. I mean, there's some great stuff, and he was a big part of Kim Burns's baseball.
Yes, absolutely.
Things like that, and just I was blown away by this man. And so I was like, man, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do something related towards him, and just kind of because I was so inspired and impressed at the things that this man had to say.
That's amazing. Well, you'll have to fire us the links later, and we'll post them up with our with the video on Facebook and whatnot, and share them that way, and say these are some of your personal favorites there. I mean, we just hired a new coach for the Great Britain team, and we were having a casual conversation on Twitter, and he was like, when people ask that one person to have at dinner with you, he's like, Buck O'Neill would always been mine, no doubt.
I mean, it was incredible. It was great. It was fantastic. So the least we can do, I guess. I mean, he was a great. The stories that he would tell, and just the way that he spoke about his journeys and prior and during and all this stuff, it was really great.
John, do you want any questions before we start opening some cards?
Just very simply, what do the Negro Leagues mean to you as an American, as a human being, and as a baseball fan, Jeff?
And I think that's where I take really my only connection was hearing Buck O'Neill at the time. It was not talked about growing up. Nobody sought it out. Nobody was thinking that way in my circles. We were very far removed from anything Negro League. And so just to hear a man come in 2003 and say, I was in Negro League Baseball and I did this and I'm the first black this and the first, and you just kind of, you're blown away. You're blown away that there was times you're very naive to the situation. I'll say that. I didn't do any diligence watching baseball at the time. You're just kind of in your window of watching baseball, and they always say there's things in the past, and it's unfortunate that things were separated like they were. And so now just moving on is to recognize it and just to make sure we can see things, hear stories, and have it be a part of whatever conversations we're having. Not that it's separate, but it just needs to be a part of the conversation of baseball instead of a side note.
And to celebrate it, celebrate it for the great players that brought us. Ken Griffey Jr. being the obvious one that springs to mind.
Yep.
Yeah. And CC Sabathia, a guy that I absolutely idolize and adore. Guys that, when you think about it, less than 80 years ago wouldn't be allowed to play Major League Baseball, and we are so fortunate in this day and age to have had the sort of path be paved by the Negro Leagues, and eventually they broke through via Jackie Robinson into Major League Baseball and made the game evolve and progress. So yeah, absolutely.
And it can't be a side conversation anymore. It has to be collective and in the forefront and just a part of every conversation. So that's what I hope is that it's not a side note anymore, or an asterisk, or they're their separate thing. It's just got to be baseball. It needs to be professional baseball.
Yeah, agree. Right. Okay. We're gonna open some cards up.
Open some cards, Jason. Yeah. Well, that's a great place to end.
This is my thing. So I do a Wax Pack Wednesday, and so I always get to open a pack of baseball cards here. So I thought I'd share it with everyone else here. But before I ask, I would say, is that the shirt you're wearing? Is that your own design?
So yes, this is a logo that we do for Baseball Central.
Right.
Again, just kind of, it's not any team or player specific. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Nice little baseball, and you got to blow your bubble, and you got to have playing baseball. So
you see that big wad of Big League Chew get the bubble that big.
right. So, shout out to BC Central. I mean, Baseball Central. They take care of me. I get to make all their logos and the design work, and they treat me right and give me some of the apparel as well. So,
well, we'll send a shout out to them and see if they want to come on too. We're always looking for people to talk to, especially if it's about baseball. So we don't get to do this much. Like I purposely wear jerseys every day so people will stop me in the street so I can talk baseball with somebody.
Definitely.
So usually, funny enough, when I wear my Expo stuff, I get stopped the most when I wear any kind of Expo stuff. There's always some kind of Canadian walking around going, "Oh my gosh, you're an Expo fan!"
Because it's the best logos and colors out there. I mean, this is the best logo. It's still the best logo.
Expansion. We'll hope they may come back with expansion. So
good. All
right. So I've got 5 packs of baseball cards. You can choose one. I've got 87 Topps.
Okay.
Got 89 Donruss. 1990 Score.
Okay.
91 Stadium Club.
That's a good one.
And 92 Pinnacle.
Let's go 92 in honor of the year we won state baseball.
All right. Yeah.
Gotta go with 92. That was should have worn my ring.
Absolutely.
But that was a player. A shout out to our high school team, the Valley Vikings. We won in 2017. We won state, so I got to be a part of state championships as coach and as a player, and it's fantastic.
Oh, amazing! That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So we're gonna open it up. Let's see. Hopefully it's not stuck. We pulled a really awesome John Wetland card last time when we did a dry run through with this. So if you have anything to say about any of the players like that, feel free. I've got some. This is kind of in my wheelhouse. Like I was collecting cards at this time, so I'm all about. So Jeff Branson for the Reds.
I don't know, but you gotta love the pants. I love the Reds unis at that time.
With the stripes there, yeah.
That style of pant and stirrup needs to come back a little bit.
Yeah.
I wear mine up right now, but I'm ready for the stirrups to go a little bit lower.
Oh man, I'm a stirrup guy myself, and it's like the highest you can get them, the better.
Uh, I grew up Pete Rose. You got to have an inch. You got to have an inch. Lower. Ooh, there's the sweet spot right there.
All right, we got number 1 draft pick for the Mets, Bobby Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Is
bad.
that Bobby J. Jones, or was Bobby J. Jones a different guy?
It's, this is the same guy. It's one of those there, but he came up in another wax pack opening there, and we had that same chat, didn't we? We couldn't figure
He
out.
came up in our dry run as well, the same one we got the wetland rocking out.
I saw what's coming up. All right, Pat Hennigan for the Blue Jays.
Oh man,
he was a solid pitcher. I remember that. All right. Oh man, I think we got the same cards there, John. We got a John Burkett card from the Giants.
Oh
Yep.
man, there it is.
So we were saying with him, he was a bowler, and that was how he spend his days off, was going bowling, and that's how he kept his arm in shape. I'm sure there's a few beers with that.
There's no way in hell he would be allowed to do that these days. We were written in his contract that he wasn't allowed to. I'm not allowed to cave dive and stuff like that these days, or ride motorcycles.
So John's gonna love this. Look what we pulled, John. We pulled the John Wetland.
Oh.
So apparently he's a musician when he's in downtime like that there. So.
Ripping riffs and being basically inappropriate to people.
Cool. We've got Sean Bosky for the Cubs. Just remember him being a solid pitcher, I guess. I don't remember too much about it. We've got Hall of Famer here, Eddie Murray, Oriole.
Yep. There we go.
So yeah, I don't vaguely remember him playing for the Mets, but like I said, he's always an Oriole for me.
You gotta love Eddie Murray.
All right. We got Sandy Alomar Jr.
Oh yeah.
I was as a Padre fan when they traded all the Alamo brothers away. I was like, oh nope. We got Jay Howell for the Dodgers.
All the pictures have the same pose.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the same picture, same angle.
They just changed the name on it and put a different hat on there.
That's right.
Much less Tommy John back in those days.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they were onto something.
Oh, we got rookie prospect Carlos Hernandez of the Dodgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't remember that guy.
Just prospect, I guess.
Jeff Johnson for the Yankees. There you go. There's your Yankee for you, John. Yeah.
I don't know who Jeff Johnson is, unfortunately, though.
We got closer for the Blue Jays, Tom Hankey.
Oh man.
Man, he was a nice little side hour submariner there. And had the killer glasses. He has an album out. Somebody did the album for him. I was trying to think that it was the Tom Hankey one. I think I put it back up on the wall. Can't find it right now. But I bought it. Someone in Germany had it. I had to buy it. So some dude in Germany to get the Tom Hankey closer song. Where? Yeah. I'll find it later. You got Tom Bernansky for the Red Sox here.
Yeah, good name. There you go.
Let's see that. Vaughn Hayes for the Angels.
Oh yeah.
You can't probably see that well, but he's got a sweet mustache there. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, down to our last two cards. All right, Craig Grayback.
Back a little bit more Navy. They need to bring back more Navy.
I agree. The powder blues are awesome. And the final card is Luis Rivera, shortstop for the Red Sox.
There we go. Gotta have an infielder.
Not one there. So, well, brilliant. Thanks for opening up cards with us, Jeff. Where can people find you?
I'll be on Instagram. It's Enots Design on usually my handles. That's long story of that one. We won't get into that one anymore. It's just stone backwards. It's easy, but it's got, when you're designing things in your stone design, then everything stone already has a connotation. It's got to have, what are you, a mason? What are you?
Right.
Put like a fake name to it. So it's stone backwards. It's Enots Design. So now it can be anything. It's not related to a.
You get many funeral inquiries.
Right, exactly. So I had to switch out how to use it. So Enots Design on things like that. Or Jeff Stone, I think, pops up as well. But
I found you both ways when we were looking up for you. So
Anyways, we'll
hey,
try it.
thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure to chat with you. It's been a whole lot of fun, and good luck at practice here in a little bit.
Sounds good. John, Jason, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us, Jeff. Thanks so much. Goodbye.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Bye.